Hi everyone, this is Hatsmania. I just got back from the Philadelphia Regional, where I got top 32, 32nd place. Very excited about it. It's my first regional top ever. It's the second time I've gotten my invite. So, very, very proud of myself, especially with the work that I put into this. I've been playtesting the deck for months, and I'm just very proud of the work that I put in to do this. Just before we get in, my list is not standard, and I will probably not be playing the list like this again. I was playing 41 cards mained. However, there will be a lot of changes that I will have going forward. My final record was X3 after round 9. So yeah, let's get into it and I'll explain what came up and what was great. So first, we'll just go over engine. 3 Alara, 2 Amalth, 2 Drasty, 1 DoomZ for the regular standard DoomZ monsters. This ratio just worked for me. I think this is fairly standard. No real comments on this. For the spells and traps for DoomZ, we played 3 Change, 2 Raiders, 2 Adrastea, 1 Doomdirg, 1 Destruction. This felt pretty correct. I didn't really have any changes or increases or decreases. I did actually beat a Cool Toon player without ever resolving the effect to special summon once. I actually popped this twice from deck just to out their board, and it was quite good. I don't recommend doing that often. It was very much a use case scenario because they only had one guy and like nothing in hand because I had stopped them like crazy. But yeah, no, this very much worked for me. Very happy with this result as well. For the Power Patron cards, I played 3 Geppetto, 1 Vidolium, 3 Terminus, 1 Vidolia. That's it. Again, pretty standard. I actually think Vidolium was the card that was stopped the most out of any singular card in my deck. The amount of times this got ashed or belled was actually just obscene. Don't know why. I think Geppetto's like just insanely better to hit. But yeah, no, this was belled quite often. I only played 6 hand traps mained. I played 3 Fua and 3 Ash. It's just the format. I don't want to get Fua'd, so it's fine. I actually think I got Perulia'd more than I got Fua'd today, and I never gave more than 2 draws, which is kind of standard. Yeah, it was perfectly fine. And then this is kind of where, like, the tech and goo came in, I guess. Before I get into this part, I built this deck specifically to beat the mirror. I figured there was going to be a lot of DoomZ there today. I also figured there was going to be a lot of Draco Tail there today. I was correct in both. However, I only played against 1 Draco Tail and 1 DoomZ. I played Cool Toon the most, which is favorable, and I did win more. I won 2 of my Cool Toon matchups and did lose 1. And pretty much the rest of it was mostly just rogue or not top tier. So what I played was Radiant Typhoon Vision and the 1 MST. Yes, it was good. It was just, it did exactly what it was meant to do. Drawing cards was actually really necessary. Searching MST, shout out to my friend Colin for giving me the DT one before the before the regional. Popping Geppetto when I had no other starters was actually also did come up just to get my play started. It worked the way it was supposed to, but the main theory behind this card was that in the mirror, I always want to have card advantage over my opponent. The biggest downside of DoomZ is that you're kind of using your entire hand to just throw up on the board going first, and if they break your board, sometimes you just don't have follow-up. With Radiant Typhoon Vision, I can draw cards going first and ensure that I have more cards than my opponent always. And just to kind of complement this, I did play 3 Droplet, and 2 Crown, and 1 Called By. I was very much back and forth on these ratios specifically. This is the 41st card was definitely Called By. I think I saw a Called By once, and it did kind of matter. I did lose that game, but I needed an effect to resolve, and it did stop the effect from getting negated by Baylor specifically. Droplet, I was pretty much convinced that this deck really couldn't effectively or efficiently play Droplet for a while, until this last week, and I was just like, oh, if I'm stealing cards from my opponent, this is pretty much always live. Because, spoiler alert, I am on the Draco Future package. I do feel like that is just stronger, but I understand the argument for Therion Regulus and the Therion package specifically. Droplet was crazy today. I do not regret playing it at all. Every time I saw Droplet, I usually, specifically going second, every time I saw Droplet, I did win that game. Going first, it was a lot weaker, and I started siding it out more going first towards the end of the day than I did at the beginning. But yeah, no, this was very, very strong. I'm very happy with the ratios. Crown, of course, this is borderline mandatory for DoomZ, so I'm sorry to anyone that wants to play this deck budget. I do feel like Crown is mandatory. Probably should have had the third one somewhere. Not sure where I would have had room for it, but I will probably be making more room for the third Crown going forward. For the extra deck, we are playing Standard, 2 Drastrius, 2 Deactorus, 2 Glaflario, and 2 Jupiter. This is pretty standard. You do need 2 of each. I regularly went through all 6 of these on the left, and then Jupiter, you do just need it just so you don't get crackled. That's basically why we play 2. I never summoned both, but Jupiter being summoned actually came up quite a lot today. Either you just punch over something. I also removed something with its pop effect, which was incredible. And in some cases, I also made Zeus with this. It was pretty good. I was just very happy with this ratio. This was good. Next, as I stated before, 1 Draco Future, 1 Utopic Future, and 1 Gaga Magician. I did this quite a lot. I think I made this more in testing than I did in the regional today. A lot of the time I got interacted with enough where I could really only end on specifically just Drastrius, Trap, and sometimes with the level 4 with an equip spell just so I could go into the Actorist and pop a card non-targeting. I think the best end board that I had was literally game 1, round 1, where I went first in the mirror. And I ended on Varudris, which I also do play. Of course, Power Patron. Varudris, Draco Future, Trap, Droplet, Deactorus, which I had not Xyz summoned, and then I think it was a Lara equipped. So, and it just really worked well because he did have Droplet, and first activation was Geppetto. I went to non-targeting Papa because I didn't want him to remove a different card before searching, because I already had the trap, so it did not matter. He was going to not search off that card. Yeah, so this package worked out for me. I think the only time that I wish I'd went into it was when I played against Lunalight in round 6. Shout out to Kevin. He's a friend of mine. He's pretty cool. I kind of just took a bet that he wouldn't open double heavy poly, which is unlikely to begin with. So I ended on Varudris, plus Trap, plus Drastia, equipped with Noondirg. And unfortunately, he did in fact open double heavy poly in game 3. So that's nothing I could do. If I got into Draco Future, the game would have lasted at least another turn. I don't know if I win that game in that scenario, because it really comes down to whether or not how quickly I can see Engine versus how soon he sees Droplet. But other than that, these were fine. Then, for the rest of the cards, I chose to do just more utility Xyz monsters. So I did play Dark Seraphim, 1 Dugaris, and Zeus. I think I used Seraphim twice, and once was for the attack boost, the second time was for to go into Zeus over Jupiter. I did not go into Dugaris at all. This was a way to get over Liger. I just never was able to get to it in general when I was in that match. So this one was like a last second add. This was like SP the night before. Did not matter. So like this I might as well have just been playing a 14 card extra deck. But these did matter. Zeus did come up. This came up twice. So yeah, pretty good. This card's like really, really strong. I was very pleasantly surprised with it. Now to the side, before I get into this, I just want to make it very clear. I barely saw my side throughout the entire tournament. I'll go through the cards that I did see, which was the Perulia. I saw it during one game. I saw 2 copies, and they did absolutely nothing. And just because of the hand that he had specifically. 2 Droll. I think I saw this twice. Once against Lunalight. It did not matter because he correctly played around it, and the second time was in the original first time was actually through the Mirror and DoomZ going second into their board, and this just did stop their turn. And then the last card that I saw was probably arguably the best card in my side deck all day, was Book of Eclipse. This card was crazy. So shout out to Eric from my testing group at Noah's Ark. Yeah, that literally, like, he was cooking me for weeks, just activating Eclipse. I'm like, you know what? I want a piece of that action. Every time I saw this card, it was incredible and immediately won me the game. I think there was one game versus, I played against Yummy round 3. I opened 2 and Fua, and I activated Eclipse, he negated it, and then I chained Eclipse, and he was sad. Yeah, so this card was very good. I wasn't able to set it in towards later matches because they just didn't come up typically, or I just didn't need it. So, yeah. Overall, though, very, very good card. This was definitely the most effective part of my extra deck. It also, like, another reason why I picked this card as well is because it's a quick play. Complements Vision. It's really good with Droplet as well because you can chain Droplet to this. So, like, that was just more theory, just adding more quick play cells so that the Vision draw would be more live, and to make Droplet just a lot better. Then for the cards I didn't see, technically I saw Dimfizz, but I drew it for turn when I had no board. So, yeah, I didn't see it. If I had seen it going first, opening it, this would have been significantly better. Obviously, in testing, this is crazy. Also, I did not play Shifter. This is the only Banishing Floodgate that I played. In testing, Shifter was just not doing well for me specifically. My theory with Shifter, like, personally speaking, is that if I'm Shiftering someone, I want to be able to kill them either on turn 3 or turn 2, depending on when I activated it. If I can't do that, I don't necessarily think it's worth it when it's only at 1. But I can understand why you would want to play it anyway. So I decided to cut it. I didn't really miss Shifter. It would not really have made a huge difference in all of my games, except maybe against the Magistus Dracotail player that I played round 4, who actually did win the event in general. But I think the odds of me seeing it were very low, and I also didn't see any of my side in either of the game in game 2 when he absolutely destroyed me with a lava golem. Next, talents. This is for the mirror. It's really good in the mirror. They interact with you at all. You plop this down, you take their Deactress, and you just win because you just overlay Greflario for free. Yeah, so pretty good. Also, just didn't see it, but I wish I did. And then finally, I played 3 counter traps. So 1 Judgment, 2 Accusation. Didn't see them. They would have been crazy if I did. Straight up, if I'd opened these in the Lunalight matchup, I straight up do win that game. So that does suck that I didn't see it. But in theory, they're very, very strong. I was also I know there's a lot of Radiant Typhoon players in my area, so I was very much prepared for those. However, did not see Radiant Typhoon all day. I didn't even see them playing at any of the tables. But the cool thing about this, too, is this also complements the Vision, because I can search MST, and through the combo, I can actually set my own trap. This doesn't have to negate the opponent's MST. I can negate my own and then force them to banish all of them. So that was, like, more complements towards the Vision engine. Again, I don't know if I would play this going forward. I think something like Warning probably would have been better. I think I probably would have appreciated that more, but again, I didn't see them, so it's almost like they didn't exist to begin with. But with that, thanks guys for watching the video. Oh, and matchups specifically. Round 1, it was the Mirror. I won 2-0. Round 2 was Magistus Fairy Tale. Thankfully, I did know that matchup because I tested the deck before it was released. He cooked me game 1, but I came back and won games 2 and 3. Round 3 was versus Yummy, which was a bit of a free matchup for this deck just because they can't target the big guys that they want to remove. And then round 4 was versus Magistus Draco Tail, where I got absolutely cooked. Round 5 was versus Cooltoon. Unfortunately for him, he had never read a DoomZ card in his life, so he didn't really know how to interact with me properly. Round 6 was versus my buddy Kevin on Lunalight, and he did, again, open double heavy volley. Round 7 was versus Cooltoon again. Lovely opponent. Unfortunately, yeah, just another case of me having a favorable matchup. Round 8 was against Cooltoon again. He absolutely destroyed me by opening Gamma both games. And then round 9, I got the bye because my opponent didn't show up to table 30 for some reason. But hey, I'll take the free one. With that, thanks guys for watching. I'm definitely going to be playing this deck even more. I really, really like this deck, and I like the success it's been giving me. So probably will change some stuff around. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.